This video is meant for educational purpose of WE013. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Speaking Test for Muet. There are two parts of this test. We will start with part 1 first. Part 1 is individual presentation. You're going to have 2 minutes to prepare and 2 minutes to present. All right, you now have 2 minutes to prepare your presentation. Time's up. Okay, candidate A, it's your turn first.
Hello everyone. The reason why people use social media is for entertainment. Firstly, it is because social media offers vast amount of entertainment content that can be accessed everywhere within the reach of internet connection. For example, TikTok, which provides vast amount of videos such as short video clip of comedy, drama, and action movies that can surely attract a large number of viewers. Based on the user's preference, the videos that pop up on the FYP page is filtered by the algorithm that controls within the user's interest. Other than that, people tend to use social media to escape reality, daily stress, and boredom by diving into entertainment content that can be humorous, inspirational, or simply distracting. For example, one of the top YouTubers in the world, Mr. Beast, that has 320 million subscribers in the platform, the videos that he posted consist of adventure and competition videos. The reason why people are entertained by his videos is because he brought the users and the viewers along into all of his videos and adventure um, because of his high cinematography skill that makes the viewers feels like they are taking part of it, and that makes all of his viewers engrossed with his content and continuously feel entertained. In short, one of the reasons why people use social media is for entertainment.
Thank you, candidate A. Candidate B, you may start now.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to talk about how social media plays a vital role in terms of the educational aspect. To start things off, as we all know, there are these plenty of different accounts on these different social media platforms where they would post contents based on their targeted audience. For example, on Instagram, there would be these different accounts would post contents based on the educational aspect where they would target different subjects, for example, biology, physics, as well as chemistry. For the subject biology, there will be accounts that would post in real life cases regarding to the things that we are learning in the textbook. For example, mutation cases, as well as the structure of different living organisms. I believe that this is beneficial for students as they do not have to they do not have to as they don't have to pay an amount of fees in order to view these contents. Whereas if you compare to some of the websites available on the internet, you might have to pay a small amount of fee in order to view them. Not only that, I would like to talk about how the students can also gain more access towards different understandings across the globe throughout these different social media platforms. So as these different accounts are posting similar contents, their personal opinions might differ from one another. Therefore, students get to learn from different perspectives, and it helps broaden their understanding on these different subjects, as well as promote learning beyond the classroom. Last but not least, I would like to talk about how there would be these different accounts where they would post motivational quotes in regards to encourage the students to continue to work hard towards their personal goals. To conclude everything, I believe that social media is important for the educational aspect.
Thank you, candidate B. Candidate C, you may start.
Good morning, everyone. The reason why people use social media is for communication purpose, Firstly, it is to stay connected with the loved ones. Through the use of social media, for example, like TikTok, in which students who live in a far away from their family and friends can stay connected. Students can also share their daily life activities by posting videos in their TikTok so that the parents or family members can view their stories or daily routine and keep in touch. Furthermore, using chat box, they can also interact and stay connected. Uh, Next on the list is about like a content creators or influencer communicate with their followers by using social media. It is a trend among the content creators and influencers to make the use of the social media to communicate with their followers. They love to use of the social media features like a live stream, podcast, or comment section allow content creators to directly communicate with their followers. For instance, like a famously known influencer called Speed, always communicate with his followers fan via comment in his chat box, for example, like in his Twitch channel and YouTube channel. This anticipation of waiting for his next live stream is making his followers glued to the screen so that they can keep up to date upon its arrival. Hence, this is the reason why many content creators and influencers use social media as a medium to stay connected with their followers. To sum it up, these are the some reasons why people use social media for communication purpose. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you, Candidate C. Candidate D, you may start.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to discuss my perspective about using social media in the business sector. It is undeniable that social media is now a staple in our lives, and people are taking advantage of this and are starting new businesses and also growing out their already existing ones. It's an understatement to say that starting or growing a business online is way more convenient than using traditional means, such as renting out billboards and distributing flyers. In this day and age, businesses are starting to opening social media accounts, and its sole purpose is just to pump out as much videos as they can to promote their products. Uh, this is done to make the product reach a wide range of audience while also uh, bringing in more people to engage with their content. Besides, it really helps out with budget. As we know, starting a social media account is free, and producing these promotional videos don't really cost as much money, and it also is quite time saving compared to traditional means. It's obvious why many are moving towards online mediums because it's just more cost effective and it saves a lot more time. Moving on, I like to say that using social media for businesses provides a direct channel for businesses and customers to interact with. If you have any questions or inquiries, just DM them straight away. Most business accounts nowadays, especially those who are on Instagram and TikTok, they encourage their viewers um, to ask about any inquiries in case that they need to give out more info about their products or anything, because it brings in more people to buy their products because it's a good customer service. Last but definitely not least, I'd say that YouTubers are also starting businesses because they already have a platform and they already have a following. A major example would be the release of Lunch League. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you, Candidate D. So that's the end of our part one. So now let's move on to part two. Turn to the other side of your question paper. Part two is a group discussion. You're going to discuss in about 8 to 12 minutes. So now you have 3 minutes to prepare. You may begin. Thumbs up. So let's start our discussion. Anyone can start first.
Good evening, everyone. As we all know, social media plays a vital role in our day-to-day lives, considering how the amount of people using social media has increased throughout the years. Well, as we're spending more time on social media, have you guys ever considered the consequences of overusing social media? Today, we will be discussing the consequences of overusing social media. In my perspective, I would like to talk about how social media can affect us in terms of our mental health. So, as we're scrolling through social media, we may come across different photos of these unrealistic photos of celebrities. While these photos might seem harmless, the damage it might bring us might cost us millions, literally. For example, in Korea, there's been cases where middle school students would skip school in order to undergo these cosmetic surgeries to quote unquote fit in to the beauty standards set on social media. I believe that this not only causes them to neglect their studies, but it also affects the way they perceive their looks. For example, in Asian beauty standard, it normally emphasizes having a tiny nose, big round eyes, as well as ruby lip mouths. Therefore, these students would apply makeup in order to fit in to these Asian beauty standards set on social media. In my opinion, I believe that it is fine with admiring one's look. However, it is sad to see how people can't embrace their unique features anymore. What do you guys think?
I agree with your point there. You stated how that these unrealistic beauty standards are not, they don't only cost a fortune, but they also lead to health issues. Even though this is mainly seen in South Korea, it is undeniable that this issue is slowly seeping into the global community, and it is not a good sign for the livelihood of teenagers nowadays. From a different perspective, I'd like to say that the overuse of social media creates a superficial virtual relationship. It's not really an exaggeration to say that we come across a ton of different internet personalities nowadays, and in just a short time of scrolling, we see a lot of different kinds of them. We don't actually think about the validity of them, whether they are being fake or whether they are being their real selves. In social media, it's a red flag to show your bad side. So most videos that we see are curated and filtered and are edited to make it seem like they are on their good sides. An example of this would be the Kardashians. They flaunt their lavish lifestyles quite often, and they also show off their heavy spendings. And youngsters who are looking at this, they tend to compare themselves to this, and it makes them feel a bit inadequate because you're looking at somebody who is just more well doing than you, and it causes them to overthink, which in serious cases it leads to depression, which is definitely fatal. What do you guys think?
I couldn't agree more. About what you said about like celebrities showing don't show the red flags. It's because like they don't want to get cancelled. Instead of they showing the green flag instead, so they can like get more popularity, more likes, so that they can maintain the position of them being a celebrity. And in my point of view, waste of time is a very common it's pardon me, is a serious consequences of using social media. It's because wasting time has become a very common thing around the teenagers, especially in the students. Nowadays, students scroll through their social media accounts or feed mindlessly on up until the wee hours in the morning when they are supposed to sleep for the next day. The lack of sleep will cause fatigueness among these students that causes them to lose focus during the learning and teaching process. Moreover, this excessive use of social media will also causes the students to procrastinate, particularly on the homeworks that given by the teachers. Having fun scrolling through the various videos and TikToks led them into unable to put down their phone. This addition is the main factor that makes them to do last minute work. AI is the main source of help to extent where they end up fully relying on the technology to help them out. For example, like we use ChatGPT to procrastinate so particular homeworks, you may all know. And instead of independently do their work or assignment with their own mind thinking, they just do like using this technology to their own advantage. So what do you guys think?
I really agree on Felix's point where he mentioned about teenagers nowadays wasting their time by scrolling the social media. In other way of people wasting their time is by these people nowadays, especially the avid fans, becoming less moral by spreading so much current news that doesn't have to do with them from apps to apps. For example, X, formerly Twitter, or even TikTok, in the form of gossips and seeking viewers' attention. For instance, the most recent heated discussion is the divorce of two local artists, Fatami and Fazura, causing chaos and wave of gossip throughout the netizens. People come out with criticism and throwing out obnoxious comments to the parties involved. In the other hand, some even consist of haters, spreading out rumors and fake news and making it even worse. Social media with no boundaries and lines, making people so daring to come out with criticism and hated comments, and losing their empathy. So that's for me.
I agree with candidate A's point, and I would like to add on, whereas as we all know, most kids nowadays own their own social media accounts on like these different social media platforms, and as they're scrolling through these different social media platforms, they might get more exposure to things that they shouldn't be at their certain age. Therefore, I believe that kids are being too easily influenced by the things that are on social media, where in this case, it would be the hate comments that Kenny 8 mentioned just now. While these kids, they might not have the mindset to easily control their emotions, or, differ what is real or not, they might take these hate comments to heart. And in some serious cases, they might pursue to, end their own life in order to get rid of their problems. Well, this causes the suicide cases, well, not just in Malaysia, but globally to increase. Well, for example, a few weeks ago, there's been this case where a 13-year-old girl has been getting cyberbullied on social media for months. Therefore, she unfortunately committed suicide. And I think that considering how we are getting proper education now, these things, you would believe that people would have the sensible mind to make these decisions. But it is um, unacceptable that things like this are still happening around the world. What do you guys think?
I agree with what you said there. You stated that kids are also easily influenced, and I'd like to elaborate a little bit more on that. Influencers with bad intentions, there are a lot of them nowadays, and they are specifically curating their content towards kids because they know that kids are vulnerable to knowing what's good and what's bad. A popular example would be a very well-known streamer called Neon. He curates his videos so that he screams a lot and plays with the kids attention span and makes them engaged with the content. Not only that, he also runs around just screaming and doing improper acts there and here because that's what keeps kids' attentions nowadays. This causes these kids who are watching the videos to be influenced, saying that, oh, maybe this is something that is normal and that can be done. So when they copy acts like this, they go out in public and they are also becoming a nuisance, which is definitely not a good thing. What do you guys think?
I could agree more about what you said about like children's or kids like watching videos from the content creators. This is like very undeniable, I would say, because like content creators nowadays like releasing videos about like pranks and other kind of things. That's like totally like useless. But this thing can also impact their corrupt their children's mind to do their act, which eventually like can be fatal sometimes. And I would like to add more about like in the own point, which is like about performance, but not in adulthood, in the childhood and teenagehood, especially in the students. Imagine this: a student during revision time for the exam, then suddenly get a notification from their social media feed, and then they picked up the phone, and that will make them to unable to put down their phone, and this might causes them to lose focus during the revision time and might not didn't did well in the exam. That will make disrupt their confidence and also their self-esteem. This will also indirectly um, uh, pardon me, indirectly go to the health issues. And nowadays, young generation feel constant urge to check the notification, leading to hours and hours of spending online scrolling each day, and sometimes even right from bed. For example, like the blue light emit from the phone and other devices suppresses melatonin, a hormone produced that help us to fall asleep. When melatonin levels are disrupted, it can make harder to fall asleep that causes us to wake during the night. This lack of quality sleep can lead to feeling tiredness and irritable, reduce our concentration, and even weaken our immune system. Over time, poor sleep habits can have a dominant effect in our daily lifestyle. So what do you guys think?
I really agree with the C's points where you did mention about the blue ray light can cause one to have hard time to get their sleeps. So I truly believe that health is are the most serious consequences of using social media. This is because people have been late night scrolling and check out their notification on their phones. This will also lead to some major cases. For example, candidates, these points where he did mention about the overuse of social media can make one depressed by looking down on themselves, or even lead to fatality, just like what candidates we said earlier. So that's all from me. So I truly believe that um, health is one of the most serious consequences of social media. That's all.
Considering like all the points given converges into a health issue, I also believe that health issue is the most serious consequence. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Really.
agree.
Thank you very much. So that's the end of our exam for today.